But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
He can do any work, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea.
How is Crawford, his composure going to be like the moment a punch lands on him from Canelo?
Are you kidding me? Take that question back.
Yeah, why?
Because you're talking about Crawford.
Yeah.
He's the,
Weight classes.
he's the most composed guy. Yeah. What, you don't think he'll be prepared? You think it'll be a shock to him? No.
I think Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez.
I think he's too small. But then again, I thought he was too small for Spence. So shows what I know.
As the excitement surrounding a possible Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez megafight continues to escalate, numerous fighters and analysts have begun weighing in on why Canelo is widely expected to dominate. However, boxing icon Mike Tyson has stepped in with significant concerns about the matchup, casting doubt on Crawford's chances in the ring. Tyson feels this fight may not be in Crawford's best interests, cautioning that moving up to face someone like Canelo could result in serious consequences. Given Canelo's superior size, punishing power, and relentless pressure, Tyson views the Mexican champion as a formidable threat, possibly one that Crawford may not be able to withstand. While many still lean toward Canelo's supremacy, Tyson's apprehension adds an intriguing twist to the growing conversation. Will Crawford silence the critics, or will Canelo's formidable strengths prove insurmountable? The debate rages on as fans anxiously await further developments on what could become a massive showdown.
Mike, I gotta say this. Terence Crawford, tremendous fighter. You're a big supporter of his. He wants to move up 3 weight classes and fight Canelo. What do you think?
He can do any work, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Why?
I just don't think it's a good idea. I don't think nobody has. I don't know. I just don't think it's a good idea. People think they was crazy like that before. Just say he doesn't have to do it. He doesn't have to do it.
You posted the other day, there's a picture of you in a Rolls Royce, and you said, the quote is, "I can't remember how many of these I gave away." Tell me about that.
Yes, I don't know. Yes, when we used to have the money, I said, when I have money, you know, you get shit.
Yeah, but not everybody's Mike Tyson. You're very generous. You're a genuine, nice person. Tillman told me that one time you lent him his car, he kept it for like 3 months or something.
David Benavidez has candidly expressed his deep admiration for Canelo Alvarez, describing him as a major source of inspiration in his personal boxing career. Benavidez has spoken with enthusiasm about the highly anticipated fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford, describing the matchup as an exciting and commendable event for boxing enthusiasts. His respect for Canelo's in-ring achievements and skill set is evident as he commends the Mexican champion's remarkable legacy. Benavidez's optimistic view of the bout underscores the reverence many fighters hold for Canelo's dominance and the formidable challenge he presents to any opponent. As anticipation builds for the Canelo vs. Crawford showdown, Benavidez's take adds an extra dimension of excitement to what's shaping up to be a thrilling spectacle in the sport.
Looks like it's going to come to fruition in September. What are your thoughts on that bout?
I have nothing to say. It's a good fight. And it's a good fight. I wish both of them the best.
Next question over here. Do you use that for motivation at all? Like Canelo's, like, you know?
I definitely do use that as motivation because if I was such an easy fighter and target, he would have came and beat me already. Just for him not fighting me lets me know how dangerous I am.
How would you approach a fight?
Is there scissors? Is there scissors? Ask for scissors. Go ahead.
How would you approach a fight with Terence Crawford if it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting him.
Ryan Garcia has joined the conversation about the potential clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, drawing attention to the clear physical edge Canelo holds. Garcia highlighted Canelo's size, strength, and power as critical components that could provide a serious advantage over Crawford, who would be moving up in weight divisions for the bout. He emphasized that the noticeable size difference in physical dominance might pose a major obstacle for Crawford. Garcia suggests that overcoming Canelo's natural advantages would be no easy feat for Crawford, especially as he ventures into unfamiliar territory against a physically imposing opponent. With debate heating up around this potential fight, Garcia's perspective adds depth to the growing discourse on whether Crawford is truly equipped to counter Canelo's ring dominance.
that's going to be a great fight too. I can't believe they made that happen. So yeah, Turkey's been making a lot of great fights happen. You can't really hate on it. But I'm excited for that. I know Canelo, he's so big, so strong, and I think he'll be just too big. I mean, weight classes matter for a reason.
Last question, Ali. He said Teofimo and Boots are going to be on your October undercard.
Oh, yeah,
and
I heard
winners
that.
would fight each other. Is
I
that what you were told?
I didn't know that, but I'm
What do you
down.
think of that?
I don't care. Yeah, let's do it. I wanted to fight Teofimo too.
Last one, I gotta do this. I agree with you that there's just like there's a lot of sanctioning bodies, there's a lot of promoters, there's be more testing organizations, not just one. Tell me about that. Why are you so adamant about no lot?
I think that when a coach is pushing a certain organization, it just strikes me off weird. And for it to be like a mandatory thing, like why can't I use another organization, you know? But again, I don't want to talk about them because, you know, it might.
Sean Porter has openly expressed concern regarding Terence Crawford's ability to deal with Canelo Alvarez's notorious punching power. Canelo has a well-established reputation for delivering crushing punches, and Porter questions whether Crawford could endure such power, especially with the added difficulty of moving up in weight. Porter's concerns mirror the broader skepticism surrounding Crawford's chances of weathering the physical demands of fighting a naturally larger and more powerful adversary like Canelo. As discussion continues to swirl around this prospective battle, Porter's remarks emphasize the steep challenges Crawford must face if he intends to compete on Canelo's level. Will Crawford manage to rise above the odds, or will the force of Canelo's punches prove too overwhelming? The buildup of suspense shows no sign of slowing down.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know, so I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Mikey Garcia has come forward with his take on a potential fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford, confidently backing Canelo as the expected victor. Garcia highlights Canelo's considerable size and power advantages as the main reasons he believes Canelo will triumph. In Garcia's view, those physical traits will be pivotal in shaping the result of the contest. He feels these qualities heavily tilt the scales in Canelo's favor, making it incredibly tough for Crawford to overcome the inherent disadvantages he would face inside the ring. As discussions around this possible bout intensify, Garcia's prediction further strengthens the argument that Canelo's physical edge could simply be too much for Crawford to match.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, you know, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160.
Yeah,
Canelo ain't gonna come down, you know, maybe 166 max if he accepts. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, you know, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor, and that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has accomplished everything he had to accomplish from 140, 147, now 154. That's even greater for him. He wants to do something, collect belts at 154, he can attempt that. But there's no money in that compared to the Canelo fight. And Canelo is trying to fight other guys, and you know, at that point it's more of a big fight, you know, for the money that's gonna generate. But as a fight fan, I'm not really a fan of that matchmaking. I'd rather see Canelo move up and fight somebody like Bitterbeef or Bivol again. If he wanted to challenge himself, move up to 175 again, and challenge himself against those guys. not a smaller guy moving up.
Roy Jones Jr. has expressed admiration for Canelo Alvarez's abilities in the ring while also acknowledging Terence Crawford's drive to test himself against the sport's elite. Jones believes that should Crawford come up short against Canelo, it could mark a major inflection point in his career, especially considering Canelo's place among boxing's top-tier champions.
Yeah, because a lot of people are saying like, hey, you know, forget about Canelo. That was a tough fight with Madrimov. Go ahead and give Boots a shot. Give Boots the chance. But Eddie's saying, hey, you know, I think Crawford's saying, hey, give me the Canelo fight or I'm not fighting. I'm done.
Why? What he got to prove to Boot? Boot trying to take over and start beating the guys around him. Prove that he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He will take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him, he may go fight better beat this nigga. If he don't beat him, he say, okay, I took it as high as I could go. I'm done.
That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if he gets the win. Like, oh my God.
Robert Garcia has sided with Canelo Alvarez in the event of a future clash against Terence Crawford. Though he refrains from offering a detailed technical analysis, his prediction aligns with the majority of boxing experts, likely due to Canelo's size, punching power, and experience at heavier weight divisions. Garcia suspects that Crawford's main motivation for accepting the fight would be the massive financial reward, as Crawford has already achieved substantial career success and long-term security. Still, if the bout materializes, Garcia anticipates that Crawford will remain competitive for the first 6 to 8 rounds before Canelo begins to take over. He acknowledges Crawford's impressive talent and toughness, yet ultimately believes Canelo's physical dominance and punching power will break through as the fight progresses, leading to a commanding finish.
Robert, what's the smart bet on Crawford-Canelo? Canelo by knockout or Canelo by decision?
Crawford by decision. If you have to bet?
Yes.
I say Canelo by decision. Crawford by decision. No, but you say Canelo by knockout or Canelo?
Yeah, no, because I'm saying that's what's going to happen. Canelo's going to beat him. But which one?
I don't know, man. Crawford is fucking gangster. I've always been saying, you know, I think Canelo at the end, you know, obviously his strength, his weight,
experience
probably takes over. But shit, I wouldn't be surprised if Crawford just fucking boxes and fights smart and beats him.
He's probably going to be 40-1 underdog or something crazy like that, right? It's not going to be close.
Oh, it's going to be close.
3 weight class?
Maybe 3-4-1. ¿No crees?
No.
It's not going to be that big of a difference. No.
When you pick the knockout? No, when you pick the knockout?
You pick a knockout. But if it's just...
who wins straight out?
I think it's going to be maybe 3-1, 4-1. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 2-1. Maybe 2-1.
I don't think so. So they finally announced Ryu's fight, Gary Russell. What do you think? Not an easy fight? No easy fights in this level? It's going to be. Finally, you guys will be. The first time you're ever going to a Tank fight, right? To work a corner?
Work a corner at Tank's fight.
Is Tank's the main event?
Yeah.
Promoter Eddie Hearn has voiced doubt about Terence Crawford's chances against Canelo Alvarez, emphasizing the large weight disparity as a significant issue. While he respects Crawford's determination and fearlessness, Hearn suggests that the size gap might simply be too vast for Crawford to bridge in the ring.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement. If you're Terence Crawford in that fight, the last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Gervonta Tank Davis has offered praise for Canelo Alvarez, labeling him one of the premier fighters of this generation and an elite competitor in the sport. Though Davis stopped short of offering a prediction for the fight's outcome, his admiration for Canelo underscores the high level of respect the Mexican superstar commands among his peers in boxing.
Canelo is one of the top dogs in the sport as of right now, and he's a great fighter himself, so just having somebody like him to say I'm his favorite fighter it's pretty, like, touchy. I think I'm the face of boxing already. If we being real, I think I'm the face of boxing right now. I think that Canelo going out the door, all the top guys. I mean, well, Canelo was probably the only one, but he was going out the door. So.
Teddy Atlas has commended Canelo Alvarez, underscoring his size, strength, and power as a unified champion with a resume full of remarkable accomplishments. However, he also raises a valid concern whether Canelo can effectively deal with a smaller, quicker, and more elusive opponent. Atlas believes that speed, agility, and defensive movement could pose real problems for Canelo, especially given that signs of aging have started to show in his performances. A slick, mobile opponent could present difficulties. With both fighters entering the later stages of their careers, the matchup could hinge on their respective styles, strengths, and how well each adapts, making experience, tactical approach, and ring IQ pivotal factors in the bout.
Not official, but it may be a done deal. Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez. Early thoughts? What do you think?
Yeah, look, the first thought is, can he handle the weight jump? Can he handle the weight jump? He being Crawford. Against Madridov, people are going to say, oh, he had some hiccups. Who don't have hiccups? When you eat something that's a little difficult to eat, and Madrimov was a little difficult to eat, he's not easy to digest, he's a good fighter. When you eat something that's a little tough to digest, you get hiccups, right? So, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is, but who's he beating? He unified the, what was his first division? Lightweight, then he unified the junior, then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter.
Sports commentator Stephen A. Smith has weighed in on the matchup, acknowledging Terence Crawford's talent while questioning his ability to seriously hurt Canelo Alvarez. Smith argues that if Crawford is unable to land meaningful, damaging shots, Canelo will take control by applying constant pressure and leveraging his superior power to dictate the pace of the fight.
But to me, can Crawford hurt him? I would pick Crawford to win if he can box and stay away. I don't believe he can hurt Canelo. And if Canelo catches him, it could be trouble. But I would still say it would be a very interesting fight. I just believe that Crawford hasn't been in the ring with anybody this powerful. And I'm wondering whether he could stay away. Again, Crawford is the superior boxer. But if he can't hurt Canelo, you can't keep him off of him. And that's where the problem lies.
What do you think a win like that would do for Crawford? Would that put him
Mayweather?
Mayweather?
He and I spoke about it. He and I spoke about it in Vegas when the UFC event was at the Sphere. It's a fight he wants desperately, he wants badly. He says it's a legacy fight. He thinks about Tommy Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard and others moving up in weight. And he believes he can do the same, and he wants to do the same against a fighter the caliber of Canelo Alvarez.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult has expressed concerns about Terence Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo Alvarez's powerful punches, suggesting that the notable difference in size and strength could be a deciding factor. Crawford's bold move to jump up 3 full weight divisions in order to face Canelo has prompted alarm from many within the boxing community. The general consensus among experts is that skipping multiple divisions to face the reigning super middleweight champion is a risky strategy, likely leaving Crawford at a significant physical disadvantage due to the dramatic weight transition and the challenges associated with such a leap.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence "Bud" Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason is money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here. right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with the Spence. He did like almost look it very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing.
Timothy Bradley has taken a more hopeful stance compared to others, recognizing the size disparity in favor of Canelo but expressing belief that Crawford's skill set gives him a legitimate shot at victory. Bradley maintains that Crawford's superior technique and intelligent game plan might offset the physical gap, providing him with a real opportunity to pull off the win, despite the prevailing opinion that favors Canelo in this potential showdown.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo, 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights, where he still got age on his side, and maybe go up again, like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but like I say, he's weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Alexander Usyk brings a distinctive point of view to the conversation surrounding the anticipated Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford bout. While the widespread expectation is that Canelo will emerge victorious, Usyk argues that Crawford's high-level intelligence and boxing IQ could turn the tide in his favor. He asserts that even with Canelo's notable size advantage, Crawford's cerebral approach and tactical sharpness give him a credible route to victory. Many see this matchup as a revival of boxing's golden era, when elite fighters from different weight classes would face each other at their peak. The impending clash is being celebrated as a tribute to a time when courage, skill, and legacy drove the sport, fueling excitement and anticipation across the boxing world.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford. How do you see that fight? Who do you like?
Terence. It's
wow.
My friend, but it's crazy man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence, different man. Terence work in two stойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
switch hitter.
Yes.
He's a switch hitter.
Yes. Right and left. But it's very smart man. It's very smart. But feel distance and place.
Adjustments,
Spacing,
exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why I'm asking, exactly.
Canelo big, Canelo too, good box. But I say
Wow.
Kezan Davis has offered his view on the potential showdown, stating that while Canelo has enjoyed his moment at the pinnacle of the sport, his true greatness lies in his adaptability. Davis highlights Canelo's ability to adjust to a wide variety of styles and opponents, crediting that as a key part of his success. He believes this adaptability, combined with Canelo's wealth of experience, makes him a formidable foe for Crawford. While much of the discussion tends to focus on Canelo's advantages in size and punching power, Davis also emphasizes that Crawford's intelligence and refined skills could help balance the scales and create a much closer contest than some might expect.
He's gonna be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, it was Floyd, and then it's gonna be Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what's on the line with that fight, right? Canelo and Terence is whose era is it? Right?
Nah.
I think Canelo had his time.
Yeah,
Just
Canelo
gonna
had his
cement our
time. Yeah.
Just gonna cement our time.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
What makes Bomac such a great trainer?
He can adapt to any style, bro. Like, he can adapt to any style. First of all, DB3, we all got different styles. And he all been making this better in our own style. He got Troy Isley. Troy Isley is a different style. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got Avius Griffin. Avius Griffin is a different style. Of course, y'all know Jamel Herring and Terence Crawford. All different styles. And he make these fighters great. He can adapt to any style. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to TKO Edge for more knockout content. From fight breakdowns to real-time reactions, we've got it all right here. Until next time, stay sharp, stay strong, and keep your guard up.